Hello everyone, in this reflection video I have some suggestions for you to look at your work again and see if there is anything to make it more useful for you. When using multi-criteria tables, the most common pitfall I see is that people try to use the table to prove that one of the IDs is better than another. People sometimes use the multi-criteria tables to collect arguments for their initial ID. It's not very strange, we have discussed this multiple times already. People generally tend to embrace their first ID that looks good and then only keep on collecting information that supports that ID rather than testing the ID. The problem is that everybody in the complex situation will do that, so you end up with a lot of debate and delay in decision making. Anyhow, this common pitfall might appear here too, so critically go over your work to see if you have fallen into this trap. During scoring the different IDs on the decision-making criteria, you might have benefited one of the IDs over another. Difficult for you to recognize alone, as you are most likely really convinced about these scores. So make sure that you use a few other people, that could be colleagues or even other stakeholders, and go over your scoring again. They will for sure let you know if they see a bias in the scores for your favorite ID. This also requires that the people you collect around you to critically look at your scores should not be people who want to please you. So if you are the boss and you decide upon the salaries of your personnel and you ask them to critically review the scorings of the ID you like most, well, pretty obvious what might happen then. So organize your counterbalances around you. Invite people that can be critical in the situation you are and that also dare to be critical. In the application, you also try to design a plan for how to use your multi-criteria tables further. Also here, check your work for initial biases towards your favorite ID. Carefully go over your plan and check for words like convincing people or showing arguments or ranking of IDs, etc. It's these kind of combinations of words that can indicate that you focus too much on one ID in particular. As you will have noticed by now, I focus a lot on this issue of favoring one ID over another, or putting your initial solution forward, or ranking IDs for system interventions from worst till best. I'm not saying that these things are bad in nature. On the contrary, there are many situations in which leaders need to step forward and decide what they think is best. For instance, to put their vision for which they as a leader have been chosen in practice, or in emergency situations where decisions must be made very quickly. So going for one option and considering at that moment that that is the best thing to do is very practical. But the most important reason why I focus so intensely on this issue is that the analytical approach is of value if your initial IDs that you consider very good are really and intensely tested by an elaborate analytical effort. If they survive that test, much more likely that initial ID is a good ID. Also, if they survive that analytical test, much more likely other people involved in the situation can also understand why that ID is a good ID. And that helps when implementing it. More widely supported IDs tend to get implemented more successfully. Okay, have a look at your work to critically review it. And that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching and I wish you the best.